Have you ever wondered what separates the average person from the world's wealthiest billionaires? Is it just luck, inheritance, or some secret formula they keep locked away? What if I told you it's none of those things? It's a mindset. A specific way of thinking that isn't taught in schools, isn't discussed at the dinner table, and is often completely misunderstood. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going from zero to billions, not by looking at bank accounts, but by dissecting the core psychological frameworks that build empires. This isn't about get rich quick. This is about rewiring your brain for massive long-term success. So, if you're ready to learn the mental models that turn ordinary ideas into billion-dollar realities, you're in the right place. Let's start with a foundational, yet often overlooked principle. Billionaires don't trade time for money. At least not for long. Most of us are taught to get a good job, work hard for 40 hours a week, and get a steady paycheck. That's the time for money trap. It's a linear path with a built-in ceiling. You only have 24 hours in a day, so your earning potential is inherently capped. The billionaire mindset, however, focuses on creating systems that generate value independent of their direct time. They build assets. An asset can be a business, a piece of software, real estate, or an investment portfolio. The key question they constantly ask is not, how much can I earn per hour? But, how can I create something that earns money while I sleep? This is the shift from active income to passive income. It's about leveraging technology, leveraging other people's time and expertise, and leveraging capital to create a machine that works for you, not the other way around. Think about it. A single successful app can be downloaded millions of times, generating revenue around the clock, long after the initial coding is done. That's the power of a system. Now, let's talk about failure. For most people, failure is a stop sign. It's embarrassing, it's painful, and it's something to be avoided at all costs. For the billionaire mindset, failure is not a stop sign. It's a data point. It's invaluable feedback. Think of it like a scientist running an experiment. If the experiment fails, the scientist doesn't quit science. They analyze the data, figure out what went wrong, adjust the variables, and run the experiment again. Jeff Bezos famously said, "We've had billions of dollars of failures at Amazon.com. Things like the Fire Phone were massive public flops. But each failure provided crucial lessons that were then applied to successes like Amazon Web Services, which now drives a huge portion of their profit. The secret isn't avoiding failure. It's failing fast, failing cheap, and learning from every single misstep. They embrace calculated risks where the potential upside is massive, and the downside is a manageable educational loss. So, the next time you face a setback, don't ask, "Why did I fail?" Ask, "What did this failure teach me?" That subtle shift in perspective is everything. The third critical mindset shift is from being a consumer to being a producer. From a young age, we are trained to be excellent consumers. We're bombarded with advertisements telling us what to buy, what to watch, and what to want. The billionaire mindset inverts this entirely. Instead of just consuming content, they think, how can I create content? Instead of just using a product, they ask, what problem does this solve? And how could I solve a similar problem better or for a different market? They are constantly looking at the world through a lens of unmet needs and unsolved problems. Every complaint you hear is a potential business idea. Every inefficiency you notice is an opportunity for innovation. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy things. It means your primary mode of thinking is geared towards creation and contribution, not just consumption. When you walk into a store, don't just see products on a shelf. See supply chains, marketing strategies, pricing models, and customer experiences. Start analyzing the world as a system of value creation, and you'll begin to see opportunities everywhere that were previously invisible. Let's dive deeper into the concept of long-term vision versus short-term gratification. Our modern world is a minefield of instant gratification. We want fast food, on-demand streaming, and next-day delivery. This trains our brains to prioritize immediate rewards. The billionaire mindset operates on a completely different timeline. They're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. They make decisions today based on where they want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. Warren Buffett is the ultimate example. He's famous for his saying, "Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." He doesn't chase hot stocks or quarterly earnings reports. He invests in solid, wonderful companies at fair prices and is prepared to hold them for decades. This requires immense patience and discipline. It means saying no to 1,000 small, tempting opportunities to stay focused on the one or two big, game-changing ones. It means reinvesting profits back into the business for years to fuel growth, rather than cashing out for a new car. Are your daily actions serving your immediate desires, or are they building blocks for your long-term vision? Answering that question honestly can change the trajectory of your life. Another powerful, yet simple, mental model is the circle of competence. This idea, also popularized by Warren Buffett, is about knowing what you know and, just as importantly, knowing what you don't know. Billionaires don't try to be experts in everything. Instead, they identify a specific area where they have a genuine edge in industry they understand deeply, a skill they've mastered, and they operate almost exclusively within that circle. Outside of that circle, they either avoid playing the game or they rely on the advice of other trusted experts. Peter Thiel, a co-founder of PayPal, won't invest in a business unless he understands its unique technological advantage. He stays within his circle. The mistake many people make is getting drawn into opportunities they don't truly understand, simply because they seem popular or profitable. This is a recipe for disaster. The billionaire mindset is about having the humility and self-awareness to define your circle and the discipline to stick to it. Your goal isn't to have the biggest circle, but to know the boundaries of your own circle better than anyone else. Now, what about problems? Most people run from problems. The billionaire mindset actively seeks them out. But not just any problems, they hunt for big, valuable problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more value you create, and the greater the potential reward. Elon Musk is a prime example. He didn't decide to build a slightly better gasoline-powered car. He tackled the monumental problem of sustainable energy and transportation with Tesla. He didn't want to just build a better rocket. He tackled the existential risk of humanity being a single-planet species with SpaceX. These are massive, incredibly difficult problems. By focusing on solving problems at that scale, he created companies with astronomical valuations. The key insight here is that your income is a direct reflection of the size and difficulty of the problems you solve for others. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" the billionaire mindset asks, "What is the biggest, most valuable problem I can solve for the largest number of people?" The money becomes a byproduct of delivering that solution effectively. Finally, let's discuss the concept of an infinite learning machine. The world is changing faster than ever before. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. The one constant that underpins all these other mindsets is an obsessive, relentless commitment to learning. Billionaires are voracious readers. Bill Gates is famous for his reading weeks, and Warren Buffett reportedly spends up to 80% of his day reading. They aren't just reading for entertainment. They are constantly downloading new information, connecting disparate ideas, and updating their mental models of how the world works. They are intellectually curious. They ask questions. They listen more than they talk. They understand that their current knowledge has a shelf life, and they must constantly reinvest in their own education to stay relevant and maintain their edge. In a world of accelerating change, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is the ultimate competitive advantage. The moment you think you know it all is the moment you begin to decline. So let's recap these secret mental shifts. Move from trading time for money to building systems. See failure not as an endpoint, but as a valuable data point. Shift from being a consumer to a producer. Prioritize long-term vision over short-term gratification. Define and operate within your circle of competence. Actively seek out and solve big problems. And finally, commit to being an infinite learning machine. These aren't just business tips. They are profound psychological shifts that change how you see yourself and the world around you. Adopting even one of these mindsets can have a dramatic impact on your life. They require discipline, patience, and a willingness to think differently from the crowd. But as we've seen, this way of thinking isn't about the money you have. It's what creates the money in the first place. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the billionaire mindset. I hope it's given you some powerful new frameworks to think about. If you found this valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which one of these mindsets resonated with you the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.